The research question being addressed is the evolution of textile suppliers and supporting services from the 1900s to the 2000s. This evolution ranges from technological advancement, globalization within the industry's impact on the United States textile industry, and how political involvement shifted the industry. The evolution of textile suppliers and supporting services from the 1900s to the 2000s show a profound transformation shaped by technological advancement, globalization, and political involvement. Industrialization of the 1900s witnessed the transition from handcraft to mechanized production process. The mechanized production process led to mass production in textile manufacturing. With innovations of such devices like the spinning jenny, power loom, and later the jacquard loom, revolutionized textile production, efficiency, and output. Advancements in automation in the late 20th century to now have continued the evolution of the textile industry. The computer aided design or CAD system has made designing patterns easier and more efficient for the textile industry. The use of robotics has reduced the labor costs for many textile companies and increased their efficiency, optimizing supply chain management. Digital technology in the 2000s has transformed the textile industry to incorporate 3D printing and digital design printing for customization. This has enabled flexible manufacturing to meet the diverse demands of their consumers. In the latter half of the 20th century, globalization saw a significant shift in the textile production, especially in the United States, as low cost regions like Asia and Latin America offer cheap labor and relaxed trade regulations. This led to the production of global supply chains as textile suppliers began sourcing materials and labor to other parts of the world. The globalization facilitated market expansion for textile suppliers, enabling access to new markets and consumers. Free trade agreements such as NAFTA and other bilateral and multilateral trade agreements further facilitated international trade in textiles. These agreements had different impacts on the different regions and stakeholders. Globalization also brought challenges to the textile industry, such as chain supply complexity, heightened competition, and vulnerability to geopolitical risk and supply chain disruption. The textile industry had to adopt strategies to risk management and diversification of suppliers. Political involvement played a substantial role in shaping the textile industry by regulating framework like governing labor practices, environmental standards, trade policies, and tariffs. Political decisions on trade and tariffs influence the dynamics of the trade industry, as they put protectionist measures in place like quota limits and tariffs on imports. On the other hand, free trade agreements try to liberalize trade and foster economic growth through increased access to the trade market. In the 2000s, society saw the rise of environmental awareness. This awareness led to the implications of stricter regulations on pollution control, waste management, and sustainable practices within the textile industry. The government put into place legislation addressing these environmental concerns and shaped the industry's sustainability agenda. Stephen McDonough's article on the multi-fiber agreement discusses the implications and consequences of the termination of the MFA in the global textile industry. This source provides insight from the perspective of an authoritative source in the agricultural, economic, and trade research. Joseph Pellman's essay, The Multi-Fiber Arrangement and Its Effect on the Profit Performance of the U.S. Textile Industry, is part of a larger work titled The Structure of Evolution of the Recent U.S. Trade Policy. This essay divulged into the specific mechanisms by which the MFA influenced the profitability of the U.S. textile firms. It discusses factors like trade restriction, quotas, tariffs, and other trade policy measures implemented under the MFA, and how these policies impacted the financial performance, competitiveness, and strategic behavior of the U.S. textile companies. J.P. Wahlberg and B. Strong's 3 Textile Raw Material and Their Manufacturer provides detailed information on how raw materials are used in the textile industry and the manufacturing process. It gives an in depth view of methods of extraction and cultivation and processing techniques. This source serves as a valuable primary source for understanding the raw material and manufacturing processes in the early 20th century. The principal research method used is archival, where primary sources are located in archives or special collections and documentary research. The findings showed the evolution of the United States textile industry from a at-home handcrafting business into a mass production business that incorporated many different aspects of manufacturing and supporting services. Technology has allowed the textile industry to move away from being a slow process of a high-tech, high-speed industry which can produce thousands of textile products a day. Globalization helped turn the textile industry into a global entity with international suppliers and supply chains all over the world. The globalization also brought the need to regulate trade tariffs in order to protect the domestic textile industry. The evolution of the textile industry from the 1900s to the 2000s has been one of innovation.